Welcome back. At this point, you've probably heard about ivermectin. It's an anti-parasitic drug used predominantly for livestock, but there's been a surge in sales and calls to the poison control centers since people started taking it to treat or prevent COVID-19. This despite it not being an approved treatment of the coronavirus. But where did the idea even come from? One vocal proponent of the drug lives in the Pacific Northwest, and that is the topic of this week's Willamette Week cover story. Joining us to talk about the article is the story's author, Anthony Effinger. And Anthony, thank you for being on the program. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about the idea. Ivermectin can be used to treat COVID-19. It's been appearing online and on some podcasts. So where did this whole thing originate?
Well, as far as we can tell, it started with a study out of Australia where scientists took ivermectin, put it in a petri dish along with some COVID-19 virus, and the ivermectin did a really good job of eliminating the virus. Now, this was in a petri dish, not in a human body. And since then, there have been other studies, mostly small, some of which have been impeached for problems with the data, plagiarism, that sort of thing. So there is evidence out there, but the big health authorities aren't convinced by it, and therein is the rub.
The drug is used in humans, but not for viral infections, and it's different than the kind used for horses, right?
Yeah, ivermectin is a generic name for the drug. It's sold under various brands, and there's a horse version, there's a human version, there's lots of different kinds. The difference between the drug you get for humans from your doctor, because it takes a prescription when you get it from your doctor, is that the animal versions are higher strength, different forms, and of course have different instructions for 1,000-pound animals like horses.
What are you hearing about people who take too much ivermectin? What's been happening to them?
Yeah, as you can imagine, they are kind of in for a little bit of a wild ride. There are reports of one person who was in the hospital for 9 days, dazed and confused and hallucinating. I think that stuff's pretty rare. More common things are nausea, diarrhea, low blood pressure, hives, that kind of thing.
Important to get the word out there. Anthony Effinger, thank you for your report. We appreciate you being on the program, too.
Absolutely, anytime.
You bet. You can read the entire article in the latest edition of Willamette Week on newsstands now or online at wweek.com.